dirty laundry.
Right. No, it's just such a double standard, which he acknowledged, and he says it's one of those things you have to live with. But I don't think it's one of those things you have to live with. I think there has to be a way, and I love your way, but no matter what way, you have to face it head on. You have to fight back and push back. Otherwise, you're going to get buried.
The conservative movement is always looking for the perfect candidate. And I was talking to Chad earlier and said, look at Romney.
That's your first mistake.
That's the first mistake.
Talking to Chad.
Talking to Chad. Well, I made two mistakes. Yeah, where'd Chad go? No, but seriously, we are looking for perfection in candidates. And so we end up with people who are so fearful to have made a mistake in life. Then you wonder why they don't go out on a limb politically. Right. They're not used to going out on a limb.
Right.
Get people that are used to failing, that are used to doing these things and saying, you know what, I made a mistake.
Right.
That's why I want rock stars. I'd love Ted Nugent to run.
Oh, he was great. He's great. All right, let's talk about something. And the issue of race in politics and what they're doing to Ben Carson now in an effort to just thwart him right at the beginning of any possible political career. But I take it back. There was CBS did a story. CBS this morning. Jan Crawford a couple of days ago on Joe Biden, and you'll be able to hear this. Let's play cut number 10.
Biden has spent the past 4 years as a vocal advocate for the president, skewering potential rivals.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
And supporting Mr. Obama's policies, a high-profile role that he will hold through the second term. But going into 2016, they both face questions. Clinton's tenure as Secretary of State would come under scrutiny, as would her health. Biden appeals to voters with his regular Joe image. They have found his gaffes almost endearing.
I didn't know you guys were here.
But it may not be so funny for the leader of the free world.
Spread your legs, you're going to be frisked.
Spread your legs, you're going to be frisked, he says to the woman. A big effing deal, he says to Obama. But notice that people find his gaffes almost endearing. Let me first of all say about gaffes. When he was running for president, and as I said the other day, not the time he was thrown out and had to leave because of his plagiarism scandal, but in 2008, when he was running for president, he called Barack Obama the first clean, articulate African-American to run for president when you had a laundry list of African-Americans who had run in the past. He also, not too far in,
the rest of them were dirty.
Time-wise, the rest of them were dirty and couldn't speak.
Right.
Jesse Jackson, Shirley
Sharpton,
Chisholm, Al
Shirley
Sharpton.
Chisholm,
He also said that when asked by the Washington Post editorial board, why is education in Iowa so much better than it is in Washington, D.C., he said, well, look at how many minorities you got in Iowa. What do you got, 1 or 2%? Now look at D.C.
Yeah.
And he also made the crack about Indians in 7-Elevens. How did this man not only not get run out of town, out of the race immediately, but how did Barack Obama pick him?
Oh, you left out one really good quip that he did where he talked about Barack got tested for AIDS, I got tested for AIDS. I've been to the black sections of my town educating black people about AIDS.
I never
because
heard
guess
that one.
what?
Yeah,
without Biden, black people would not know anything about AIDS or anything else. This man is the latent racism. It's not even latent; it's overt. And the worst part about it is I hate that type of racist because he doesn't even realize how big of a racist he is. He's a racist, he's a sexist, and he's probably all the other ist that they try to claim that we are. But people just dismiss it, and they dismiss it on the idea that he's a Democrat. He got picked by the black guy, so yea, verily, he's okay.
And they dismissed it before he got picked by the black guy because they dismissed it when he was running.
I said Democrat first. He's a Democrat.
And they being the media, which takes us back to Sanford, which influences every aspect of our politics today. The way, and I've said this to so many people, that if the next presidential candidate or Mark Sanford or whoever it is as a Republican doesn't understand that they're not only up against their opponent, but they're up against a media that will take, hey, Marco Rubio, telling Marco Rubio the greatest, what a great story. But he did this. He took a bottle of water and took a sip because his throat was dry, and that's all they try to make him a buffoon for doing that. And if our candidates don't realize that, they're done.
Well, look, I tell everybody, forget media. You might as well just write that off. I talk about it. That's what my second book is about the duplicitousness of the left. You talked about taxes before. John Kerry hiding his boat, his yacht, what was her name? Isabella.
Yeah, so he wouldn't have to pay
right. So
taxes.
He had her in a sanctuary state, because he didn't want to pay taxes on Isabella, the illegal immigrant.
And he's a millionaire.
Right, and the guy's a multi-millionaire, if not a billionaire, and on and on and on. The duplicitous nature of Cher, who gets 5 GLAAD awards, but has a conniption when her daughter wants to be Chaz, right? On and on and on. These people will lie to you, lie to your face, tell you who they believe you to be while explaining who they are. And our problem is we got to learn how to fight this. Like the Sanford story, don't run from our flaws. We are flawed. The only difference is we're accountable.
Yeah. All right. By the way, we're talking to Kevin Jackson, and his book is Sexy Brilliance and Other Political Lies. I hold it up for those of you watching it at newsmax.com, and the website is the blacksphere.net.
You're going to get it right.
Blacksphere.net. Well, no, now I'll get it right because I put down. See, I think I can remember.
Okay.
All right. Now let's go to Dr. Ben Carson.
Sure.
What they're doing to this man is just incredible. They send out the black liberals out there, like the other night on Fox, to say he should stay in the hospital. He can't talk about this. He can't talk about that. He's a doctor. Taxes? What's he talking about taxes for? And the media attacks any black conservative. When Sarah Palin, who's not black, but is a woman, and is conservative, when she was picked by McCain, one of the NOW executives, National Organization of Women, said she might as well be a white male because that's how they view any woman, Hispanic, African American that doesn't fit their belief of what a black, Hispanic, or African American should be.
Well, those beliefs are competitive to the money grab. I mean, think about the amount of money that gets spent on this so-called poverty issue, that gets spent on the idea that men and women in America are so oppressed by men in this country, and it's ridiculous. These people will flaunt the virtues of Islam as women are being stoned, and they'll say, but there's 6 cents difference in our salaries in America. Really? That's your big issue? And as far as Ben Carson goes, they've got to destroy him. Because the only way let's think about it. Who do you want working on your brain, Ben Carson or Barack Obama? One guy has actually done something with his life. I don't even know if you saw this comment Teray made on MSNBC where he said,
"Oh yeah,
here's
the Uncle Tom thing."
No, it wasn't just that. He said, "Oh, as if Ben Carson did it all by himself. I bet he got government grants." And I said, "Well, I'd love to see a $100 bill operate on your brain."
Oh my gosh,
that's what they look at.
If he got a grant, then the government did it for him.
Or even better, there's a road that led to his house, and that's how he got to school.
I love that argument. That's insane. Well, Teray, I'm from Brooklyn. I don't live there anymore, but I spent my whole life in Brooklyn, except the last 14 years. And Teray insisted, now he lives in Brooklyn, he says, and he made this big fuss about how he was disputing what Wayne LaPierre said about South Brooklyn and during the storm, and that there were looters. And he said, there is no South Brooklyn. He did this whole thing. There's no such thing as South Brooklyn. I grew up in South Brooklyn.
Right.
This guy, he's a piece of work altogether. Listen, pleasure to have you here, Kevin. Come
Mine
back,
as well.
and I appreciate it. And folks, the book Sexy Brilliance and Other Political Lies, and check out blacksphere.net. And that was Kevin Jackson. I'm Steve Malzberg. We're coming back. We're going to turn our attention to global warming, not on the Steve Malzberg Show. Don't go away.
The Steve Malzberg Show.